Good morning, everyone. How are we doing? Oh, nice. Everybody comfortable? Nice and settled in? Good. We'll stand up. We're going to do the Affirmation. This is going to be sung and already written by, our own Sue Baggett-Day.
Can't leave you hanging. Sorry, almost did that.
Yeah.
I need to learn.
With the universal mind, we shape and form and mold it, and it brings forth of its kind. That's why my life is good, it just keeps getting better. My life is good, and it just keeps getting better. My life is good, and it just keeps getting better. My life is good, and it just keeps getting better. And all that we are seeking, love and beauty, joy and peace, abundance, health and wholeness, freedom and its sweet release. It's all already in us, and its joy is to express. Ours is to allow it and to say, I am so blessed. That's why my life is good, it just keeps getting better. My life is good, it just keeps getting better. My life is good, it just keeps getting better. My life is good, and it just keeps getting better.
That was awesome. Now let's all take a moment and appreciate Denny, our drummer, who is not here with us right now because I am too loud on the drums. He, however, is very restrained and technically excellent. If you would please join us for our statement of faith. Together now. There is only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life. God the good, omnipotent. Our second song is The Garden by Eddie Watkins Jr.
There is a garden where dreams come true, a beautiful garden where God's grace blooms. There is a garden where everything grows, beautiful garden where love is sown. And in this place of light and love, you can have anything that you're dreaming of. There is a garden where everything comes true, a beautiful garden, that garden is you. In this place of light and love, you can have anything that you're dreaming of. There is a garden where dreams come true, a beautiful garden, that garden is you. Such a beautiful garden, that garden garden is you.
You may be seated. Thank you. Thank you, Clay. Thank you, Baylor. Thank you, Richard, for his wonderful restraint.
Good morning. Everybody alive, alert, awake, enthusiastic? Well, I have to say that was just a pretty good response. Would you please check in on Facebook, tell your friends and family or whoever you know on Facebook that you are here at Unity of Springfield, and then politely turn your phone off, or at least mute. Whether you're vaccinated or not, we do urge congregants to wear a mask while they're inside the building. Would you please join me in our mission statement? Our mission is to encourage and inspire spiritual and personal growth by empowering each other to be authentically all that we came here to be. Please join me in speaking the affirmation for today's daily word reading. My life makes a difference in the world. I am wonderfully made. I am rich in spiritual inheritance, and I use my life to express my divine qualities. I am not limited to the body I inhabit. While I am blessed with physical senses to experience life, I know there is so much more to be. I use the gift that is my life to express those qualities for the betterment of myself, other people, and the world. I am a unique spiritual expression of God. I am imbued with the capacity to demonstrate love and faith. I am blessed with a loving heart, understanding mind, strong spirit, and giving nature. I choose to make a difference in the world as I use my gifts, talents, and passions for the benefit of others. God is in me, and I am in God. Life is in me, and I am in life. The scripture is Hebrews 10:35. If you'll join me. Do not, therefore, abandon that confidence of yours. It brings great reward. And let's repeat the affirmation. My life makes a difference in the world. I am wonderfully made. During our prayer and meditation, please hold the following in prayer for their highest and best experience in life. Jeremy, Shug, Elizabeth, Alice, Tom, Mark, Ron, Shirley, Jenny, Edna, Dana, Christine, Krista, Amy and David, and Mary Lou. And anyone else that comes into your mind. We also hold Elby and her family in our prayers as she lost her sister yesterday. Allow the beautiful, peaceful tones of the prayer bowl to center you as we begin to move into our time of prayer and meditation. Take in the sounds and especially the vibrations of the prayer bowl. Allow them to penetrate to the soul of you. Let them remind you of the Christ presence that resides in you, in each and every one of us, no matter how we express. Inhale, hold, exhale. Inhale, hold, exhale. Begin to relax your body, starting at the top of your head. Relax down through your forehead, your ears, your eyes, your jaw. Relax your neck and shoulders. Roll them if you feel tension. Follow and relax your arms, wrists, and fingers. Return your attention to your heart and lungs. Relax your chest, abdomen, thighs, knees, calves, ankles, toes. Inhale, hold, and exhale. Bringing to mind the people's names for which prayer was requested, we know the highest and best is the promise from Spirit, and also for ourselves, our families, our friends, for everyone roaming this planet. We accept and emit healing mentally, emotionally, and physically. We affirm love, harmony, and abundance for all. May all have their basic needs met, feel that they are loved, accepted, appreciated, respected, valued, and blessed. We choose peace on earth and peace within. Maintaining our consciousness of prayer, allowing our relaxation and prayerfulness to remain. We continue into meditation. May my words be your words. I know I am a unique, individualized, spiritual expression of God. I am imbued with the capacity to demonstrate love and faith. I am blessed with a loving heart, understanding mind, strong spirit, and giving nature. I am on this earth to express spirit like no one else. I choose to use my gifts, my talents, and my time to make a difference in this world. I am passionate about sharing these benefits with others. In my gratitude for all that I am, all that I have, I listen in the silence for guidance as to how I can better serve the purpose for which I came in the silence.
You can join us, Clay.
Sue, buddy.
Can't really do this one without you.
We're gonna need you here on this one. So in case you haven't figured it out, Clay's our singer for this Sunday. Thank you, Clay. And he should be performing As Best I Can by Daniel Nahmod.
Yeah.
I'm skating as fast as I can.
As best I can. My heart is an open heart. As best I can, I let myself be human. Try to lighten up life's loads, whether tears or laughter flows, as best I can. As best I can. As best I can. My home is a kindness home, like Abraham, where a stranger's always welcome. If they're hungry, then they eat. If they're lonely, they get me as best I can. Oh yeah, as best I can. Oh, little good can one man do? I'm just trying to find out. I can only give what I've decided I'm about. As best I can. My world is a peaceful world where all nations stand shoulder to shoulder. We are equals before God. We are neighbors, one and all. As best I can. Oh yeah, as best I can. We are children of one God. We are neighbors, one and all. As best I can. Oh yeah, as best I can. As best I can. I will do the best I can.
Mr. Clay Holmes. Woo.
Thank you, Clay. For those of you who don't know Clay, he's got this big heart, but he's also a character and makes us laugh all the time. So really what you see is what you get with Clay. We love you so much, and we're so grateful that you're here. I love this church. Thank you. Thank you. I know you do. I know you do. Well, good morning, everyone. How we all doing today? It's fall. Can you believe it? Wow, it's going to be 90 today. Here we are, huh? But it's really great. I love the fall season. I want to say welcome to everybody that's watching online. Welcome to my sister in Ohio. And if you are from another state, please let us know that you're watching from somewhere else. We'd love to give a shout out to you as well. So yesterday, about 19 people came together to work on our life affirmation cards, the artwork for it. Now, the life affirmation cards is the brainstorm of James Masters. And you've seen like those decks of cards that have affirmations. Well, we're creating that. And so yesterday was about just coming together and creating backgrounds for that. So Jessica Quinn, who you see here, is the one who spearheaded all of this artwork. I'm going to tell you, she is amazing. There were 5 actually, areas to work on. One was affirmations, and then 4 different ways that we got to create. And the really cool thing was that you didn't have to be a quote-unquote artist. You just had to have a love to come out and to be a part of something like this. So it was really great fun, and it was really fun to see everybody just kind of stepping into their inner artist. That was so cool. And I know somebody said to me yesterday, and I really resonated, that this gave us the opportunity to move past our perfectionism. Anybody have issue with perfectionism? You know, like we had this one little square thing, and I can't tell you how many times I painted over that. And when I got done with it, I still wasn't happy with it, but I had to say, it's good enough, it's good enough. So, yeah, we'll see. So anyway, what I want to remind everybody here today is that you are God's perfect work of art. Just as you are today, you are God's perfect work of art. And you were created to be the unique individual that you are in the body that you came in with the mind that you have. Did you know that? Yeah. You know, I many times feel like I'm speaking to the choir here, but I know for myself I'm constantly needing to be reminded of these principles, so I hope that you feel that way too. And if you don't, well, gonna be reminded. Okay, so as we've been talking about over the past many weeks, the reminder that we are co-creators of our experience. Now, we don't control the events of our lives. We don't control the people in our lives. And I know we've all tried to control people and go to Dr. Phil, how's that working for us? It doesn't work, does it? But we have been given this gift of a thinking mind and having control over it, that we do direct the experience of whatever events are taking place in our life. That ultimately, and I say ultimately because generally when things happen, we kind of take the hit. We feel a little bit out there in outer space, but with these principles and these tools, we get back there a lot sooner, don't we? Yeah, and that's what's important, is that we're getting back to that center sooner, where we recognize, oh, wait a second, no, I have these tools and I can experience this event differently than I have in the past. Now, in Unity, we believe that our best life lived starts with an inward journey. So we talked about meditation. And meditation is really that opportunity to go within and to open ourselves up to a reality that we do not see with our physical eyes. And then we talked about affirmative prayer. And affirmative prayer is that tool that we have to call forth that fourth dimensional reality or fifth dimensional reality, whatever you want to call it, that reality that we're not seeing with our physical eyes, but that we know that there's infinite possibilities and potentialities that exist in that. And then last week, we talked about the power of our words. And not just the power of the words that we speak out loud, but the words that we're mulling over in our heads over and over and over again. And the great thing is that what we found is that our words oftentimes are a reflection of what's actually in our heart. It's a reflection of what we actually believe about ourselves, the nature of life, the nature of God, and that if we find ourselves speaking disempowering words, we can shift those words to words that are more affirmative, more empowering, and more expansive. And believe it or not, even if you don't at first believe in affirmation, if you keep using that affirmation over and over and over again, you will come to believe it. And that's where we want to get, is we want to get to the believing part, where we're having that energy going out. So one of the affirmations that we have used here for years, and that I want to bring back more often, has to do with this sign right here, life is good, and my life is good and it just keeps getting better. And I want to share with you that affirmation came to me through a friend who many, many years ago, when I was going through a divorce, was not only my friend, but she was also my counselor. And I just remember her one day saying to me, Sue, what I say is my life is good and it just keeps getting better. And for whatever reason, it was kind of like a Myrtle Fillmore thing. That affirmation just went to my soul. And of course, I wrote the Affirmation around that. That became kind of the thing that we said here for a long time. And here's what I want to tell you. My life kept getting better and better and better, and it keeps getting better and better and better. And so, again, using these affirmations, it really does help to, the big, I always like the analogy or the vision of the ship that can't just, all of a sudden turn, it would tip over, but there's these trim tabs on the back of the ship. And to me, that's like the affirmations. The more that we are using them, and when we're getting them to a deep belief, it slowly turns the ship in the direction that you want to go. And I know for myself, that's generally how my life works. I generally don't pick up an affirmation and boom, all of a sudden I'm there. Generally, I'm trim tabbing it. Would you all agree? You kind of trim tab it to, but we get there, and that's the important thing, is that we get there. So let's say this together. My life is good, and it just keeps getting better. And remember that in the Bible it says, in the beginning was the Word. It's the spoken word, so we're speaking things into being. So at the onset, when we look at this and we go, okay, life is good, what we know is that God is good. And also what we know, and we've talked about this before, is it doesn't mean that life always feels good, right? So, I understand that. And here's what I also know, beyond a shadow of a doubt, is that always, this that we call God, this creative intelligence, this divine intelligence, is always taking everything that is happening in the moment that it is happening, and it's weaving it into the tapestry for the greater good of everyone concerned. That is always, always, always happening. And, the great thing is that we can latch on to that, ultimately. And we move through things quicker by remembering that even in this case, things are working together for the greater good. Ultimately, our choices, our attitudes, our words, our thoughts determine the experience of whatever is happening. So life is good. God is for me. Life is for me. I think it's so important for us to know those things, like really deeply know them. Life is for me. Because haven't we had times in our life where we haven't felt that way? Like, how could I say at this point that life is for me? But it really is. So let's say God is for me. God is for me. Life is for me. I am for me. Yes, because we need to be for ourselves. And here's the thing about really claiming this idea of living a life that is good, is that when we are living our best life, we are not adding to the discord or the disharmony. We're not adding to that vibration. Jesus said, let your light shine. I came that you may have life and have it abundantly. I came that my joy may be your joy and your joy may be full. It is the Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom. I think all those things are saying, hey, guys, it's okay to have a good life. It's okay to feel good in your life. It's okay to have desires and to have goals and to have these things that you're looking forward to and to work towards those things. That's all really good. In fact, when we're living our good life, here's the other thing that I know. How many of us really want to be able to help? Like help, just help. How do we best help? We best help when we're physically able to do it. We can help when we have enough abundance to help, and we can help best when we ourselves are not putting out all kinds of fires in our own lives, right? So it is essential that we're living our best life. It is important to everything that we really claim. My life is good and it just keeps getting better, and it's just helping everything else. It lifts everything else up when we're living our best life. So One of the things that I know in living my best life anyway, and I think that we would all agree, is that it is absolutely life-changing to really move into that journey of living our authenticity. And if you did not get to hear Teresa's class today at 9:15, I encourage you to go to Facebook and listen to it, because as she was talking, I was like, of course, this has to do with my talk today. Again, I want to encourage you to come to it or get online and listen to these classes, because you're getting so much in such a short amount of time. I appreciate every person who gives of their time and their talent to be a part of that. Okay, so our authenticity is that we can feel comfortable in our own skin. Have you ever had a time when you didn't feel comfortable in your skin? That maybe you felt like, you had to be somebody different, show up differently, say things differently because of the people that were around you? Ever felt that way? It doesn't feel good, does it? This journey of authenticity is so important. And here's the thing about it, is that I believe that we can get to a place where we can be that authentic and we can show up in a loving and kind way, not in an in-your-face way, not in a this is the only way to believe way, but in a way that says, this is my life, this is what works in my life, this is what I believe, this is who I am, without fear of being diminished by rejection or criticism. Because we end up feeling so authentic and good within ourselves that even if somebody does reject us or somebody does criticize us for what we believe, we don't let that define us. And we don't let that keep us from being authentically who we came here to be. That's easy, isn't it? Like, I know, even as I was just saying that, I could feel it, like, and hear that ping of, like, when somebody is kind of negative towards me or, mean, and, it's an instant thing of, like, oh, I got to catch that and go, fill yourself back up. It's not easy, but we can get there, and I absolutely 100% know that we can get there. Let me make sure I'm not leaving things here. So, in the Bible it says, to know thyself. It is so important for us to know who we are and to know what we are about. So we're first going to start, and we talk about this a lot, but I'm going to talk about this over and over again. Again, Teresa talked about this morning, and that is that we must really get to know our actuality, who and what we really are. So I went to a friend of mine, Reverend Eleanor Carty. She is over at the Unity Spiritual Center, but she wrote a book called The Wings of Possibility. And she said the greatest truth is that we are spiritual beings at one with God. The greatest lie is anything that says we are something less. There's a place within each of us that is perfect, whole, and complete. It is our authentic, original core self. It is our real self, which has been touched by grace, and I love this next part, and knows no disharmony, discord, or dysfunction. The essence of who we are is magnificent, beautiful, and serene. It remains completely unaffected by outer circumstances and experiences. It is greater than anything we experience externally. Regardless of how the outer world treats us, the reality is that we are significant and worthwhile. Our core nature is divine. Now imagine being able to tap into that reality no matter what is going on. And we've had teachers that have shown us that that's possible. We've had Jesus and Buddha and Ram Dass and so many others. They were able to, not immediately freak out, but rather that deep knowing within them that, no matter what, it's all going to be okay. No matter what, this is all going to work out. No matter what, there is a divine grace that's active in whatever is taking place in my world right now and in the world around me. Even unto death. Lo, I am with you always. Even unto death, if we're facing our own death or the death of a loved one, the recognition that there's so much more. This is not an end. It's it's a transition. So imagine if we lived more from that authenticity, from that space. And here's the thing, because I was imagining, well, what would that feel like? Oh, like peace. I mean, can you imagine not getting caught up in some of the craziness that we get caught up in? Does anybody here ever get caught up in any craziness? Did anybody get caught up in any of the political stuff over, years? Anybody? Yeah. I mean, and we were triggered, weren't we? And here's the thing, is that when we come from that perspective, when we go to that place, that it opens our mind up to a wider perspective. When we can reach that place inside where we remember, I've got this inner realm in me. It's that peace-filled place. It's that place that trusts everything. It's that place where I'm going to know that I know what is mine to do, what is mine to be in this. It just opens our mind up to see things from a wider perspective. Now, when we see things from a wider, broader, higher perspective, is that good? Yes. Our challenge is that we see things from a narrow perspective, right? We want to see things from a much wider perspective. So I know for myself that when I take an issue, say I'm frustrated with something or someone, I'm feeling judgmental, when I take this issue to that place within myself, guess what? It reveals to me almost every time, and I probably could say every time, that it's my ego that got disturbed. That it wasn't about what was happening out there. It was my ego that got disturbed. And when I can recognize that, here's what I can tell you 100%, I can then move forward from a different place in consciousness. I can move forward from a different place in my heart and soul. I can meet the other person at a different place because I recognize it was my woundedness that took me to that place to begin with. And guess what then? We can also see that it's probably their woundedness that has brought them to that place as well, right? Absolutely. I love the scripture that says, nothing can disturb the calm peace of my soul. My gosh, can you imagine that being your mantra? Nothing can disturb the calm peace of my soul. Let's just say that together. Nothing can disturb the calm peace of my soul. And how wonderful to live from that place. But and I will say this, the reality is that our world has taught us to be dramatic. I mean, we've got drama everywhere, don't we? And drama is something that, man, and let's be honest, when you're telling somebody a story about somebody else, and you're in your best acting mode, aren't you? You're telling all the dramatic parts of it, And it's our human nature. We do that. We all do it. Rise up from your seat if you never do that. And I know for myself, when I'm in that place, there's a little niggling in me going, you shouldn't be saying this, you shouldn't be saying this, you shouldn't be saying this, what are you adding to, what are you adding to? Sometimes I'm like, shut up. I just want to say my thing here. Other times I'm like, yeah, you're right, Once is okay. Yes, not 50 times. Thank you. That is so true. So we live more from that authentic place where we can tap into that, my friends. We can. And we can tap into that more often than we do now. We just have to make the commitment to ourselves. And, getting up every day and saying, nothing can disturb the calm peace of my soul. Let that be your mantra for the day, especially if you are going into a day where you know that there may be things that could disturb the calm peace of your soul. Nothing can disturb the calm peace of my soul. Okay, so now we embrace our humanity. It's so important to embrace that we are living this life, right? Is everybody living right now? I guess those who aren't living can't really speak to us. They're probably in here, but those of us who are here today, so much of what makes life so good is being authentically you, authentically and uniquely you. So here's the thing. One of the things that living authentically does is that it removes the burden of the lie. And the lie, we've talked about this, the lie is what others have told you, that you are or you aren't, what you're capable of, what you're not capable of. The lie is whatever we have unconsciously taken on that keeps us small, that keeps us from being who we have come here to be. And what the lie does is it diminishes us, it lowers our self-esteem, it limits us, right? It shakes our own self-confidence, and it tells us that we must be a certain way in life in order to be loved and accepted by others, in order to be loved and accepted by our culture, right? And I thought this was such a powerful sentence. The lie tells us that we are not what the heart is telling us that we are. And we know it. That's the thing, is we know it. We feel it in the moment that we're not being authentic. We're scared. And we're scared of that rejection. We're scared of that criticism. We're scared of that judgment. And so we don't show up as the unique, beautiful creation that we were created to be. Whoever you are, however you've shown up in life, you're important. You matter. And who you are matters to the whole, even if it makes other people uncomfortable. And you know what? Even if it ticks other people off. Because that's not your problem. I'm not saying get in people's face. I'm not saying push things. I'm saying be you. Just be you. And stand in your authenticity. So I want to share with you this story. Gordon McKenzie he works with sculpting in steel, and he was given the opportunity to work with grade school students a lot. So here's what he would say every time he would come together with these kids. He would say, "Hi, my name is Gordon McKenzie, and among other things, I'm an artist. I'll bet there are other artists here too. There have to be, with all the beautiful pictures and designs you have hanging in your classrooms and up and down the halls. I couldn't help but notice them when I first came in this morning. Beautiful pictures. They made me feel wonderful, very energized, so many bright colors and cool shapes. I felt more at home when I saw them because they made me realize that there are other artists here besides me. I'm curious, how many artists are in the room? Would you please raise your hand?" So he said, almost without fail, this is what happened. In first grade, en masse, the children leapt up from their chairs, arms waving wildly, eager hands, trying to reach the ceiling. Every child was an artist. By second grade, about half the kids raised their hands, shoulder high, no higher. Their hands were raised still, though. By third grade, at best, 10 kids out of 30 would raise their hand tentatively and self-consciously, and so on up through the grades. And he said by sixth grade, no more than 1 or 2 kids would raise their hands, and ever so slightly, ever so guardedly. Because we compare ourselves. We're so afraid of what other people think. And we've learned that. You know, I have a little, he's going to be 10 years old, my grandson, and he got in this, he's in 4th grade. So he got in this group called Hitmakers, and it's a singing group, and he loves to sing. And like, it's just the cutest thing in the world, you know, because his tone can be all over the place, you know. And it's adorable, you know. So but his joy in it, and they got to sing at one of the football games. They got to sing the national anthem, and he was so proud. I mean, he was just so into that national anthem. And then they had a thing coming up at school, and they had to try out for it. And he thought the teacher was going to take them into another room, and she didn't. And so when he went to sing, he choked, and he was devastated. And when and he's a very sensitive little guy, and when he got into his mom's car, just tears came down. And, you know, I've had experience in that. If any of you remember, you know, my singing thing was that when I was in my 20s at my Methodist church. I had the opportunity to sing a duet with my sister, and I was so excited because my sister has such an amazing voice, and I'm like, oh, and I would rehearse, and all the rehearsals went really great, and it's the Easter cantata. The day of it comes. She sings her part, and I got up there to sing, and nothing would come out. And it devastated me. And I didn't sing for 15 years because of that. So the great thing was I had a story to share with him. And I could say to him, and his mom's like me too. So we're both just, really filling him with, you're going to always have those things. It's okay. Keep on going. Keep doing what you want to do. But think about the things that limited you when you were young, that you've carried forward, about your capabilities, about what you are here to be and do, and how sometimes just even your own perception can just close those things down for you. Reverend Eleanor Carty said that low self-esteem is a tremendous disadvantage that prevents us from believing in greater possibilities for ourselves. It blocks our ability to recognize our real potential, to feel confident enough to learn and experience new things, or to know that we deserve better. As self-esteem is lessened, it becomes more and more difficult to remember who we really are. And in order to be loved and accepted by others, we surrender these bits and pieces of ourselves. Our fear of being rejected or abandoned by others leads to a diminished sense of self, and as a result, we spend more time wondering what others think of us than we spend pondering who we really are. We close ourselves down. The greatest gift that you can give the world is you and the desires of your heart. And the greatest way to begin figuring that out is like, what jazzes you? What brings you joy? What makes you happy? Whether you're great at it or not doesn't matter. What matters is that it's your joy. Esther Hicks Abraham says, you are a creator, and the subject of your creation is your joyful life experience. That's your mission. That's your quest. That is why you are here. To really experience our joyful life mission, we have to figure out what it is that brings us joy and start participating in those things more often. That's what I loved about yesterday. Most of us did not come in there as artists. But we came in there to be part of the joy of creation, however it turned out. And I can tell you one thing, there was not a word that was said yesterday that diminished a soul. Because we were all there to be in loving support of each other and say, wow, what a great job, that's so cool, that's so awesome, right? Those of you who were there, yeah. So how do we do it? First step. The only way to get to know what you really want, the only way to get what you really want is to know what you really want. The only way to know what you really want is to know yourself. The only way to know yourself is to be yourself, and the only way to be yourself is to listen to your heart. Harry Palmer, in a book called Let Your Life Speak, says, before you tell your life what you intend to do with it, listen for what it intends to do with you. And we've probably long ago quit listening to that. Jesus was a master at this. He went apart and he listened and he moved forward in his life. He was a great example in the midst of a lot of criticism coming at him, just being authentically himself. I love this. Sir Walter Raleigh says, I can't write a book commensurate with Shakespeare, but I can write a book by me. And this actually came from a book called Exploring Inner Space by Jane Dunlappin. So the premise to this is that this is like during the years when LSD was being used, and so there was a lot of ways to tap into this greater realm that were drug-induced states. But I loved what this said. She said, people who had such experiences usually agreed that deep within each of us lie goodness unimagined, wisdom, music, talents of every variety, joy, peace, humility, love, and spirituality. Hidden away in each individual is a vast gold mine, but as yet only a few puny and thread-like veins have been discovered. Our fault lies not in our lack of talent or potential. Our fault lies not in our lack of talent and potential, but in our refusal to believe that it exists. Only after we can accept such a belief and have thus gained enough confidence to look within ourselves can our development go full steam ahead. Colossians, it says, do not lie to each other, since you have taken off your old self with its practices and have put on the new self, which is being renewed in the knowledge in the image of its creator. I love this image. We're taking off our old self. We're taking off all those things that are not true, all these ideas and beliefs, all these limited thoughts that go in our head that say, I'm not enough, I'm not good enough, I can't do this, I can't do that. We're taking all those things off. We're stripping off those ideas and beliefs and allowing the masterpiece to be revealed. And do you know what the masterpiece is? Yes, it's you. You are the masterpiece. So what jazzes you? What do you love to do? I'm just going to name some. Singing, dancing, writing music, books, poetry, creating art through painting, sculpting, pottery, crafts, jewelry making, etc., knitting, crocheting, cooking, taking care of people, being in nature, gardening, listening to music, reading, speaking, starting a business, going to school, on and on and on and on. What one thing could you do today that would bring that experience into your day today? You don't have to be a master at everything that you do. If we thought we had to be a master at everything that we did, we wouldn't do it, would we? Just be you. Do the things that you love to do. Like singing, like writing a book. Oh, excuse me, I kind of looked at my husband there. About his bike trip, we've talked about. I'm not putting pressure, I promise. But I'm just saying. I've only spoken it out to everybody right now, but that's okay. He's used to it, you guys. He's used to it. Thank God he's got a great sense of humor. Anyway, bottom line, it is vital to life that you bring forth that which is desiring to emerge within you, and that you just do what you love to do. I'm not saying we're going to do some things probably you don't love to do because we love people, but do the things that you love to do. And ultimately, my friends, just let your light shine. And let's close today by once more repeating our affirmation together. My life is good, and it just keeps getting better. Amen. And namaste. Namaste. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. All right. As our band is coming forward, our awesome band is coming forward, we have this opportunity in service to support Unity of Springfield with our treasure. So you can do this by going to PayPal, ccunity@sbcglobal.net, through our Tithely app that you can download, makes it easy. I went to my bank account online and I just have it taken out every week, so I don't ever have to think about it. And I love that. So let's just take whatever is that gift of the energy of it, and let's bless it together. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And thank you, God.
Thank you, Sue. All right. Well, I learned a lot about Methodists today. I've learned that Paul can write a book. Paul, I'm saying coloring book, buddy. Do a coloring book. It's quick. It's easy. Just short.
Can't wait
Awesome.
to read it, Paul. Thanks.
Thank you. Yeah. So we have an Eddie Watkins Jr. tune, I Am the Place Where God Shows Up, Mr. Clay Holmes, Ms. Baylor Cumberworth, and the band. Here for you. I'm here for you.
1, 2, 3, 4.
strong enough to hear the birds, and sometimes come to live in this thing called life. Am I wise enough to make the right decisions when I'm standing at the fork in the road? Sometimes I wonder and ponder, only to realize I'm done alone, and there's nothing that I have to do on my own. Because I'm please and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. Will I have enough to do the things I need to do to take care of myself? Will I have the health of mind and body to live a life of grace and holiness? Sometimes I wonder and ponder, realize I'm not alone, and there's nothing that I have to do on my own. 'Cause I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. I am the place where God lives, you are the place and has its being. We are the place where God shows up. I am the place where God lives, you are the place and has its being. We are the place where God shows up. I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. We are the place where God shows up. I am the place where God lives, you are the place and has its being. We are the place where God shows up.
So I got these glasses because my contacts are messed up. Long story. Got the glasses, and they are blue blocker glasses, where it's like, oh, that'll help cut down on the glare. But everything's yellow now. Like everything's just like amber. I'm like, That was a terrible story that went nowhere. So let's get on to the announcements. Wednesday, September 29th at 6:30 p.m., we will have a training on how to build the looms and weave mats for the unsheltered population. So please bring your plastic bags. Our registration continues for the Planet Unity 5K Run Walk, set for October 2nd. And then Mary.
Clay, I love you too. Good morning. Okay, so we're starting our setup for our fall yard sale. We'll be setting up all week long from 9. We'll be here from 9 to 6-ish. If you're going to come late, call us and let us know that you're going to be here, because we are going to be tired by that time. So come. We're going to be accepting donations all throughout the week. The sale is Friday, starting at 8 a.m. until 6 p.m. Please, if you're going to be here on Friday, if you could show up like 15 minutes before 8 o'clock, because we usually have a line of about 30 people, and if there are only 2 people here and there are 30 people standing outside, it's a little intimidating. So show up Saturday, we'll be here from 8 a.m. till 2. Then we'll need fresh volunteers to come take everything down. So come all week long and give us a hand if you can't be here this week, but you want to contribute some food or some money for food for the volunteers, that would be great. If you're, yes. If, so we're going to start today. We're going to bring everything in from the pod and take everything out of the sanctuary, move all the chairs. If you're going to help with that today, stay here in the sanctuary before we do anything else to get some instruction on how to do that so we can get it done as quickly as possible. Thanks.
So if you do come 15 minutes early, like get in line like you're one of the people, then just like cut. Like just cut and like, ugh, I'm not waiting in line, and go to the front and then go to volunteer. It's just gets this heart pumping early in the morning. It's good stuff. It's good stuff. So Sunday, October 3rd, in the 9:15 New Thought and World Religions class, Les McClelland will discuss the mystery of life. And just a reminder that we are calling forth our next junior Sunday school director. Looking at you. Look, where's the camera? Looking at you, camera. This person will be helping our young ones to learn about unity principles on a weekly basis. And to be perfectly frank, I'm at this church specifically because I wanted my children to grow up with unity principles. I wanted them to come and learn a structure. What's that?
I said you're not making a joke this time.
I'm not making a joke this time.
And
I'll
it
get there, though.
shows.
I'll get there. Hang tight.
Okay, sorry.
I also invited my sister so that she can grow up with unity principles as well. But we specifically joined this church because I wanted a certain set of values for my kids to grow up in. So if you want to continue that and to bring this next generation up of people that love and care for each other and realize that we're all one. We're all one. Yeah, it can be a co-director, but there's just one pay, so keep that in mind. This can be a one-person job, or it can be shared. Yeah, that's what it says. I was coming up on that, right? Oh yeah, yeah, half of yes, we can divide that. And to continue this announcement, you don't have to be well-versed in unity because you will learn as you teach. You just have to stay one spiritual lesson ahead of the kids. If you're interested or know of someone who may be interested, please have them contact our administrator, Ms. D. Richardson. Thanks, and please vision with us the right and perfect persons for this amazing opportunity. Seriously, though, step up. It's good for you. All right, if you would please stand and join us for the prayer in the prayer for protection. Together now. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. And the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Our closing song is All Is Well by Eddie Watkins Jr. Dee says, to heck with this, I'm out of here. I'm good.
I'm not worried about tomorrow. Today I declare freedom from yesterday, mistakes from my past. They are things made brand new. And don't it feel good to know that all is well and unfolding as it should? I can change my reality by changing my mind. Perfect peace, joy, and happiness is yours and it's mine. I am blessed and so are you. Don't it feel good to know that all is well and unfolding as it should? Hear you say, all is well, all is well. Divine Spirit is protecting me right now. All is well, all is well, all is well and unfolding as it should. I am clothed in the Spirit, I am fed by the divine. I'm one with all that is, my soul is free from time. I am blessed and so are you. And don't it feel good to know that all is well and unfolding as it should? Let me hear you say, all is well, all is well. Divine That Spirit is directing me right now. All is well, all is well, all is well and unfolding as it should. All is well and unfolding as it should. All is well and unfolding as it should.
Have a lovely week.